What up guys, it's your boy Joe here, and welcome to 10 Songs That Changed My Life. Now, a certain someone, and I'm not naming names, Mr. Pritchard, left a nice comment on my most recent video with a list of bands that I love, which simply read, Jack the Envious about 50 times, with one mention apiece for either Mapmaker and Cabin Boy Jumpship. Well, we're going to prove her wrong with this video, 10 Songs That Changed My Life. No, I love you really, please don't leave me. And yeah, so here we go then. This is 10 Songs That Changed My Life. The first song is Wonderwall by Oasis, whom, yes, I'm very well aware that my favourite band, Jack the Envious, elected to cover that song, and they did an absolutely brilliant job of it. But going back to when I was a kid, when I was first discovering music, and my mum would play R&B shit all the time, like, what do you really know about good music, mother? Sorry, mum. But she'd play all that, and I wasn't into it. I was looking for something a little bit different. And then I discovered that song, and that for me was one of the very first songs that ever really connected with me. And then I ended up buying the album on tape, which just shows how old I am, and I would jam What's the Story, Morning Glory constantly. Like, that would be one of two albums I listened to all the time, along with Blur's The Great Escape. So that was basically it for me. That was when I became all alternative. The second song that changed my life is Left Behind by Slipknot. Now, this was very much my gateway into heavier music. Like, this was pretty much the beginning of me listening to all the stuff I listen to now, because I'm not gonna lie, I do listen to a lot of heavier music, as shown on the posters there, and Slipknot really were the band that really got me into them all. Like, I got that album, Iowa, and Left Behind was one of the songs that stuck out. I heard it on Kerrang once, I was absolutely hooked, I'd heard nothing like it, and that was just it for me. So that was another song that changed my life. The third song is Octavarium by Dream Theater, which is probably going to be easily the longest song on this list at 24 minutes long. But again, it came at a time when I was looking for something that sounded a little bit different, and then I discovered this 24-minute masterpiece, and I fell in love with it instantly. And since then, I've seen Dream Theater 3 times, so it was one of those songs that I heard, and it just stood out, and it stuck out, and there's just so much going on in that one song, and that's pretty much how it is with any Dream Theater song, so. And of course, anyone who can stand on stage like John Petrucci and make a solo look that easy, well, that's just skill right there. But that song changed my life for those reasons. Number 4 is Ocean Avenue by Yellowcard. Absolute pop punk banger, like, absolute banger. Like, that was, again, a song that I kind of discovered that one by accident, actually, because I was just watching Kerrang as I would do of an afternoon, and then that song came on, and it really stood out to me, and at the time, I kind of related to it, like, and that was it, you know, I was hooked on that song, and to this day, it's still it's a very much a nostalgic song. I love that song to bits. At 5, and this really is the sound of nostalgia, it's Just a Day by Feeder. Now, anyone who's played Gran Turismo 3 will know exactly the song I'm talking about, because if you played that game, you would not have been able to avoid it. Like, I actually made my Gran Turismo 3 playlist, so it played all the Feeder songs, and then one song by Ash and Muse. That's just really how picky I was with music back then, but I would play that game all the time. That song was my jam, and Feeder then went on to become the first band I ever saw live as a result of that song. So, and as you obviously know now, I've been to so many shows, you could count them with a calendar, it's ridiculous. But Feeder will always be, like, that band that holds a special place in my heart, you know, first band I saw live, and that was the song that got me to discover them. So, through gaming, I discovered the first band I saw live. Sound like such a nerd now. At 6, it's Home by Our Last Night. Now, this is we're getting into the songs now that are a little bit newer, and for me, this song, it really struck a chord with me, and I love how it's written, and there's that one guitar part that I just cannot get out of my head. It just sticks with me. But again, an absolute banger of a song. I love it to bits. And it's, again, one of those songs that just stuck out with me. I discovered them last night because it's no secret that they put out a lot of covers. They've got a ridiculous number of covers, and I started listening to the covers, and then I discovered that song, and that was a song that got me to listen to all their originals. They've got a lot of great stuff out there, so definitely worth checking out. At 7, it's Capsized by I the Mapmaker. Now, I've mentioned I the Mapmaker in my Bands of the Week series, which is a series where I talk about all the up-and-coming underground bands. Please go check that out. But I the Mapmaker, they're one of those bands that I've seen, and they really have something special. Like, everything they do is just right. They cannot do anything wrong at all. And Capsized is one of those songs that very much illustrates that. It's one of the first songs I listened to of theirs, and I just cannot stop. It is so brilliantly written as well. And again, I can't stress this enough. Amazing song. I relate to it a lot because the song touches on the importance of friends, and my friends all mean a lot to me. So, great song. Definitely worth checking out. It changed my life, and I still get shivers every time I hear it live. Number 8 is Black and Blue by Being as an Ocean. Now, this is a little bit sentimental, so get the sick buckets ready if you will. But when I was getting to know my best friend, this is a track that she sent over to me to check out when I was looking for new music. And instantly, having not really listened to much Being as an Ocean before at this point, I didn't know what to expect. But this song, as I understand it, is a lot different from everything else they do, but that one song for me really sticks out. It is absolutely incredible, and I love the ambient feel to that track. I absolutely adore it, and to this day, it's one of the songs that whenever I see my best friend, we are always jamming that song. So, few memories tied to that one, but it definitely changed my life. At number 9, it's Jack the Envious. Kind of proving Melissa right because I've mentioned them about 3 times already. Jack the Envious, Thorns of the Rose. Now, I really love the theatrical intro to this song, and discovering Jack the Envious for me was one of the best things of my life. I originally discovered them through their cover of Feel Good Inc., which I thought they'd done incredibly with. Like, that cover is insanely good. But then I got to listen to Thorns of the Rose, which was in one of their originals, and in my mind, one of the most underrated tracks they've got out there. You've got that theatrical intro, and then you just got that heavy part that slams you out of nowhere. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's a great track. I very much recommend it. Those boys changed my life, and they are the nicest guys ever, so go say hey to them when you're at a show. If you do actually go to a show, that is, please do, and go say hey to them. Best band to ever come out of Israel. They moved over to the UK to, pursue their dreams of music, and that's incredible dedication right there. The final song, then, that changed my life is Hope by Devil Sold His Soul. Now, this one comes with a very, very personal story here, because at the time I was going through some real bad shit, and I was really feeling like, you know what, I want to give up, I was going through some really heavy shit, and I felt like throwing in the towel. And then one of their members reached out to me, and I started opening up to them, and then they left me a paragraph of absolutely lovely advice, and at the end of it they said, "There's always hope." And then they stuck a link in the description to their track Hope, and that's how I discovered Devil Sold His Soul, and they're an incredible band to say the least. But to have someone reach out to me like that, it meant the world. And then when I heard that track, all of my problems in that moment just seemed to melt away for the 4.5 minutes I was listening to it. So that song really did have an impact on my life, and I still jam that today. And every time they play it live, I always just it gives me that little sense of joy, it gives me that sense of motivation. So there you have it. Those are the 10 songs that changed my life. What songs changed your life? Leave your comments in the box below. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and punch the sub button if you're new. And until the next video, it is goodbye from me. Cheerio, guys.